And then the letter, what's the letter underneath that line? Under
A.
ST. A,
A.
okay.
Mine is A.
Now, okay, I just wanted to make sure that there wasn't anything, different that might have been on mine than yours. Now, I'm going to tell y'all right now, I didn't get a chance to find out. I'm sorry. I didn't get a chance to find out what the ST and the A stands for. So hold tight on that. Sorry, y'all. The NTO, it stands for not turned in. That's what the NTO stands for. Not. Hold tight. Let me double check.
I need to get something to drink.
The later it gets, I've got allergies. Okay, let's see. Oh, the NTO stands for, not taken out. I'm sorry. Oh, the NTO stands for not taken out. Now, let me ask you guys this. Underneath that line, underneath NTO, is there anything underneath it? Is it blank?
It's blank. Zero.
Okay. Okay. And then to the right of NTO, it says to date. Okay. And then it has a figure underneath it, right?
Yes.
Underneath to date.
Yes.
Okay. Are we all looking at the same thing?
Yes.
Okay, because now it's going to line up all, okay. So the NTO means not taken out. And then the ST and the A, I'm not 100% sure, but at this point, that's not the most important part of this form. Okay, so don't stress about that. I will find that out. I'll have to just send it to Dolores to send it to you guys. The form. See where it says to date, and somebody give me a figure that's underneath there.
Mine says. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
We have 96.238.
Yours says 96.238. Okay. Dolores?
485.
Yours says 4.85.
1.485.
Okay, under yours, under to date. Okay. Okay. Anybody else want to share what their number is? Keely?
All right. The first column under the NTO, that to date, is 0.000.
Okay. Oh, that to date is as of today. Okay, so and that's a percentage of based on the number of policies that are, let's just say if you've written oh gosh, if you've written, okay, let me just keep moving. It's going to make sense. Okay, so you got a figure there, and see where it says fourth current.
Yes.
And then it has a number underneath.
Yes.
Okay, and then it has to date. Okay, so fourth current means that is a client that you wrote 4 months ago, and they're still on the books.
Oh.
And that's a percentage. That's fourth current. Meaning if you wrote 4 policies, if you wrote 4 policies or 10 policies 4 months ago, those particular policies, that number represents that percentage. That percentage of business that you wrote 4 months ago is still on the books.
Okay.
Okay. And then see where it says to date, right next to it.
Yeah.
Next to it, yes.
Yeah. Okay. And then it has a number, a figure, a figure right next to it.
Yeah.
I mean, right underneath it, where it says, okay, fourth current, and then to date, and then the figure underneath, right?
Okay.
Okay. Y'all see that? You guys are responding awfully slow.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. So you got fourth current, and then you got to date. Now, what that is saying is that the businesses that the clients that you wrote. Let's see. Let me make sure I say this right. Okay, fourth current would be current as of right now of the fourth month that policy has been on the books that you wrote 4 months ago. To date means I should have wrote that down. Just bear with me, y'all. Okay, let's go to the next one. It's going to come to me in a second. Okay, seventh current. Does anybody have a number underneath seventh current?
Yeah.
I do. I have 100.
Okay. So 7 months ago, that particular client is still on the books. Current. That's what that percentage represents. Just like the fourth current is the fourth month, the seventh current is the seventh month. 7 months ago, those policies that you wrote. Okay. And then to date. Okay, so the to date is okay. So fourth current. I'm going to go back now because it's come back to me now. Fourth current is the policy you wrote 4 months ago. They're still on the books. To date means however long you've been in the business, that's the percentage of business that's still on the books to date.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Now,
Helen, can I correct something that I said?
I'm sorry.
Can I correct something I said? When you asked me for the first under NTO and then to date, I think I gave you the one for the fourth current. So my to date after the NTO was 0.000.
Okay, now that would make sense.
I just wanted to. Okay.
Okay, thank you. That would make sense because it's not going to be a high number like that. That's good. Thank you. Okay, so let's keep going all the way. Okay, so under seventh current, and then it's got to date. Now, see, on mine, I didn't write a policy 7 months ago, so I don't have any number underneath there. Is there anybody else that is blank underneath there?
My 10th one.
No, we're on seventh though.
On the seventh, I have numbers on both of those.
Okay. So under to date, get somebody. Okay, so that means to date. Okay, so seventh current, and see the company. Think about, okay, it's showing, okay, so we get paid, okay, so we get paid 60% advance.
Right.
Commission, right? Mm-hmm. And that represents the first 7.5 months that policy should be on the books. Okay? Now, if a client cancels between the first and the fourth month, we're going to get an immediate charge back, right?
Yes.
Right.
Okay, between the first and the fourth month, if they cancel for whatever reason, we're going to have that charge, that advance commission that we got paid. It's going to come out of our next commission check. Now the company is looking at, okay, we're going to, this is the percentage of your business that's still on the books in the fourth month and to date after the fourth month for that particular policy and all the other policies that you got on the books. And then they're going to look at the 7th month. Okay. So what you want to see is at least some increase because you want to be writing more and more business between the 4th and the 7th month, right? Okay. So, but 7th current and then 7th to date. Sometimes for some people, if you had policies to cancel between the 5th and the 7th month, then that figure is going to go down. Okay, so now you are to date. We're still on 7th current. Okay, you got to date. So you got 7th current, 7 current as in right now, as in 7 months ago, you wrote a policy, current, that's what that percentage represents. To date, after the 7th month, all of the policies you've written, that's what your persistency number is.
So it's the, real quickly, Helen, that's the to date after the current. Okay.
I'm sorry.
Okay. When
you went off.
Can you hear me?
No, okay. I don't know if it's my end or your end. Okay, say that again.
On the 7th month, to try to get an understanding, on the
seventh current.
7th current, right after the 7th numbers.
Is it me? Is it me, or is she the only one that's blanking out? Oh, okay. Okay, so try it again. Okay,
okay.
So you're following the same pattern. We're doing the same thing. You got the 4th month, 4th current. That's the 4th month that client has been on the books.
Okay.
And you got 7th current. So the company has to track it. They have to track how long that client has been on the business. So the 7th current. Current means 7 months ago you wrote a policy on whatever, and that's what that current figure is on that the 7th month. Okay, and then to date is not only the 7th current, but to date is that percentage is all of the business that you had from when you first started to now, to current, to date.
Okay. So to date is the number after type it in.
Of course it is. On this form, yeah, it's after.
Okay, I just want to make sure.
Are you looking at it going across?
Well, yes, but I was looking at the to date and then current, but it's the current.
But okay, no, but on the form it says current then to date. Are you looking at it backwards or what?
Oh, it says to date.
No, but Dolores, to date is after current though.
Right. Just want to be sure. So it's after that. That makes sense.
But are we looking at the same form, hon?
Definitely. I'm just saying to understand to date would be after.
No, to date is to date.
To date.
As in all of the policies that's still on the book to date, as in July 1st, 2024.
Okay.
So the company to track, I guess that's their company's way of monitoring how their policies are staying on the books. After the 4th month they've been after you wrote them up, the 7th month after you wrote them up, and then the next one says 10th. Okay, and the 10th current will be the same thing, the same formula. I'm saying the same thing over and over and over again. This month would be that same policy that you wrote 10 months ago, whatever that figure is. So if you wrote 50 policies 10 months ago in the month of June, and all of those are still on the books, then it should be 100%. You with me?
That makes sense.
And then after that, it says to date. So it's not only all of those policies you wrote 10 months ago, but all of them since you've been. Many of you said years. So all of those policies you've written, it accumulates, and that's what that to date figure is. Okay, so somebody give me your to date percentage. After 10th current, after 10th.
6.
I'm saying that again.
0.426.
Date?
426. Are you sure? Dolores.
You said after
the 10th current.
The 10th.
We're on the 10th current, and then under to date. What does that percentage say?
Okay, the 10th month is 70.426.
Under to date, Dolores.
Yeah, I'm looking at to date. 70.
Oh, 70.
So I know it's my computer's acting stupid.
Yeah, but
But
are
it's
you but are you saying 70, 70?
70 point
Okay. Okay.
426. Seven.
Okay, that's great. That's a good number. That's a good percentage. That means 70% of the clients that you've written, they're still on the books at the end of not only at the end of the 10th month and up to date from all the policies that you've written. And then the last column, it shows 13. Okay, why do you think they have 13? Okay, so let me ask you this. We get paid. Remember all of the ways we get paid. Hold that thought. I want to go back a little bit because see, all of this directly ties in how we get paid. That's why I'm going back and forth so it'll make a little bit of sense to you in terms of how the company is tracking and how you can track the amount of business that's still on the books and the percentages that the percentages that they want us to have, which I'm going to give you that figure in a minute, okay? Mm-hmm. But I want us to go through all of this. But so the first year we call it when you look at the 8 income streams, the very first way we get paid, what does it say on the career overview?
Advance commissions.
Yeah, but it says something else. First year advance commission.
Mm-hmm.
So a year is how many months?
12.
12 months. Okay, so that first year advance commission, that the company is tracking that from the 4th month that your policies have been on the books. They're going to track it at the 7th month, and then they're going to track it at the 10th month, and now we're at the 13th month. That's when the renewals start kicking in. You've already got paid all of your advance commission, okay? And now if that client is still on the books, so that client that came on the books that you wrote 13 months ago in that 13th current. So if you wrote policies 13 months ago, there's going to be a figure underneath there. Now, for me, there's not, because I'm not out in the field writing business. So anybody want to share what their 13th current figure is?
100.
Who said that?
Healy.
All right, that's great. Anybody else?
Wow. 93.81.
Okay, very good. Very good. Now let's look at to date. That is the number that when you hear Dr. Burns say, overall our persistency is lower than it ought to be. Your persistency, and once again, that's the percentage that now what I cannot do is explain how they get these percentages, okay? But I don't think that's important. Hopefully the way I've explained this, it will make sense as it relates to how the company tracks how long our clients stay on the books and what they're looking for and what you need to be looking for, even when it comes to, we could talk about ways to, keep the clients on the books. But you've got a client that's still on the books after 13 months. The company is very happy. Your renewals and your overrides and your renewals and your pay-throughs are going to get higher and higher. So anybody want to share with me? Okay, so 13th current is the same as the 10th current, 7th current, 4th current, except it's the 13th month that the client has been on the books. Keely just mentioned hers is 100%. Lewis just mentioned that his is 93 something. So under to date, that's as of July 1st, 2024. Well, as of on this form, it would be whatever that date is, but just for illustration purposes, to date. What are your figures? Dolores, what's yours?
Can y'all hear me? 33.574.
Okay, under to date, after the 13th current.
68%, 68.560.
Okay, guys. All right. Well, okay, Dolores, I want to make sure, Dolores, are you with me? I'm okay. I just asked, what is the number? Okay, you got 13th current. No, I mean, I can see what you wrote, but I just want to, you didn't answer. I want to make sure you understand what I'm asking and giving me the right figure, because you just gave me two different numbers. Okay. What I asked for was the 13th, right next to 13th current, to date. That's the last column on this page. What is that figure under to date?
Mm-hmm.
The very last number. Is it that 68 that you just put up, Dolores?
Yes.
So that's the very last number. Okay.
I mean, 548.
68. Okay. That's 68.56. Okay. Betty, what's yours?
Mine is 80.75.
Okay, great. Lewis, what's yours?
The 93.89.
Okay, 93.
Yes.
93. Okay, you guys got to say the numbers like what the numbers are. Jarrell, what's yours?
50.330.
Okay, all right. Faustine, I don't know if she's Keely.
76.517.
Okay. Okay, so overall the numbers are great. The company
Oh man.
I guess their threshold for senior life is 65% or better. You know, obviously they would love 80 and 90, but that's not realistic, you know, in the full scope of things. They take into consideration that policies are going to drop off the books. But as they're tracking, what you don't want to see is by the time you get to the 13th month, you're down at 25% or 30%. So if that was the case, what is that telling you?
A lot of business is falling off the books.
That's exactly right. And that's the bottom line. That's why they're tracking the 4th month, the 7th month, the 10th month, and the 13th month. The 13th month, that's the beginning of when the renewals start. The advance commission have been paid. And what you want to look at every time you get your persistency report, if you're putting clients back on the books, then those numbers are going to increase back up. Now, and so from now on, you're going to be able to track. And so if you start with some of the suggestions that I'm going to give you that they gave in Phoenix last week, if you start paying attention, so everybody can agree with Jarrell that if your numbers at after the 13th current and where it says to date, if your numbers are, let's just say, obviously your numbers under 4th current, most of the time that's going to be a pretty high number. Okay. In other words, you know, because those people are brand new. They just came on board, right? Right?
Correct.
Okay. So by the 13th month, you want to, now it may not be 100%. That's just not, you know, unless you've only written like 4 or 5 policies.
Mm-hmm.
When you see somebody that has a high, like at 13th month, and it's like 95% or 100%, that's someone that probably hasn't written a whole lot of policies. Would that make sense to you?
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, but if you're out there writing a lot of business, whether it's family, referrals, or whatever, I mean, all of them aren't going to stay on the books. So the percentages are going to go down. Okay. I mean, and that's just the way it is. But 65 or better, you're good. Okay. All right.
Makes sense?
Questions?
Yes.
Questions?
Yes, it does.
Yeah. Okay. So questions? Any questions?
I think I probably have sent an email to everybody to see how do we keep the people on the books.
I received it.
Okay. Well, I've got some suggestions, and I think all of us know, that's not rocket science, but I've got some suggestions. But I want to make sure this report, everybody is good and have a good layman's, like I said, this was layman's term. This wasn't high tech. It wasn't designed to try to explain this high tech. I explained it the way it was kind of explained to me a long time ago, and some of it had to come back to my memory as I was going through.
That's
So
good stuff.
everybody good?
Yes.
Yes.
Does the company have a certain number that they want you to be at to focus on at different months, like the 4th, 7th, and 10th month?
I don't know if they do. If they do, I haven't heard those numbers. I haven't heard those figures. But I'm sure it's something I can find out.
Next question. Like for your persistency has to be at a certain point in order to qualify for different things, company related, like for the
Trip.
the trip and the Rolex, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right. And the company will give you that. Will let you know in advance what that persistency needs to be at the time of whenever the qualification period is over. Yes.
Okay.
So that's just another incentive, because here's what a lot of people will do. Because I don't recall a percentage of persistency being on. Matter of fact, I know it wasn't. It wasn't on the qualifications when we went to not Cabos, but Maya, Riviera de Maya. Okay, and that was what, 2 years ago. And persistency wasn't one of the criteria. It was production. But I bet you a lot of people went out and wrote a whole lot of business, and a lot of that business is not on the books. So I can imagine that's probably why Senior Life has put that criteria on there now, so that you're not going to just go and just write a whole lot of business and qualify to go to Mexico. Now I'm just speaking, getting in the head of a CEO of a multi-million-dollar company, and that would make sense to me, wouldn't it? Wouldn't you all agree?
I would.
Yes.
Because the companies don't make money in the first year or two of our policies. Every policy. Think about it. Somebody wrote you wrote a policy, and their the premium was $60. The AP on that is $720, and they're paying you in advance, and you got a live check. I mean, they're already paying you, and that's a super preferred, or standard. And you got paid almost $350. You got paid over half of what the annual premium is.
Mm-hmm.
And annual is 12 months. So they paid you, they loaned you 7.5 months worth of money. That's what insurance companies do.
Mm-hmm.
But they're banking that Dolores and Betty and Louis and Faustine and Keely and Georgia and Jarrell and Helen and Kimberly are going to write good business as good as they possibly can, and keep them on the books.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so So one of the things I know, one of the things that, couple of the things that I do, even to this day now, my first few years, I would, send birthday cards to my clients as well as holiday cards on Christmas, Thanksgiving cards during the holidays. And I did that my first, I don't know, 5 years, 6 years, but it started to be too much. So I have an assistant that does that for me. So I make sure that she has my database and it's updated, and I update it, when I've lost a client and they passed away so that they don't get a card. And so that helps. And then at Christmas time, what I do, she'll send, I'll make sure that she includes my phone number and or a business card in the holiday card that I sent. And believe it or not, usually around January, February, I'll hear from a couple of, even though we put our phone numbers on the brochures and the senior care plan, a lot of times they're not going to go. One thing, most of them don't even remember where they put their policies at. Come on. So they're not going to find your phone number right away. So what happened? Right. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So you gotta think like them. So okay, they're probably not gonna. They remember who I am as their agent, but it's like, oh my gosh, where's her number? Oh, let me include my number in the card. Let me include my card in the greeting card, whichever one. So that will come back to their remembrance, and then who knows, you may get a phone call about adding more coverage or giving them a referral or whatever. So that's one way that can help for persistency. Remember, persistency is simply the client staying on the book as long as as long as they're alive. Keely, did you get all your questions answered? Did you have another question?
I think so. One thing that I do, because I don't send out paper cards. I don't know why. But anyway, I just normally like create little things for like the client for the day that they were born. I put a little thing in the pit collage, because even like when I'm doing telesales, what I'll do, I'll ask the people to send me one of their pictures. And I say, send me one of your pictures so I can have to put in the file. And I take that picture and I put it in make a thank you card with it and send it to them, when I'm sending them their brochures and everything. And then I take that same picture and I create a little birthday card for them. And I text this stuff to them. And then I text them like on the different times a year that I'm gonna text them to say hi, how you doing or whatever. And I have a little thing and where I include my picture, that same old picture you see up there. And I put a picture there, and I put my little down in the corner of whatever I created. I put that little picture and with my phone number and everything in there too.
Wow. That's great. That's great. Now we all know that Keith is beyond creative when it comes to that kind of stuff. So what I do want to say is no, you guys cannot hire Keely